She does not need any introduction at all, but if you don't know her, she is Wendyo, and she's here today at Dcentral Miami. Just got off the stage, a great conversation on NFTs. How did it go, and what do you hope people took away from that conversation?
So thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to chat to you guys. Yes, we just got off of the stage talking about kind of the future of NFTs and how it has evolved. It was a great conversation. We had a very diverse group of people on stage, but the conversation went well, and it's good to see that people are actually building on making NFTs a lot easier, more accessible, and that they're kind of working on the hard parts, the technology part, so that people like myself that aren't super tech savvy can just come in and use the products and enjoy.
Absolutely. And Wendy, right before you came on, the panel that was before you, they brought up a good point about lack of diversity in our industry. You are very involved in the industry as a Web3 woman. What is your role in our industry to encourage more women to onboard?
So as far as my role goes, I'm a mom, and I'm a mom to a 6-year-old little girl, and I want her to know that she can grow up to be whatever it is that she wants to be, and that there's certain things that shouldn't deter her. Obviously, certain things like that will continue to happen, but it's important to let people know, to figure out what you're good at and hone in on those skills, and then use those skills to leverage either reputation or leverage opportunities. Because a lot of people will come into the space and they do things that might not be beneficial to them because they might not be good at it, and that's okay. You don't have to be tech savvy, you don't have to be a coder, you don't have to be a legal expert. So figure out doing things that you're good at, honing in on those skills, and then showcasing that to the world. I think that will help, especially bring more women in, because I feel like sometimes women come in and like, oh my God, I'm not smart enough, I don't know math, I don't know tech, I don't know code, and they forget what they excelled in originally. So take those skills and keep pushing forward.
And speaking of speaking to the world, you've been speaking a lot to the world in 2022 about regulations. You've been the eyes and ears of all of us when it comes to regulations, and you've been doing some amazing education. What was your takeaway in 2022 when it comes to regulation, and what are you hoping for 2023? Keeping fingers crossed.
So I don't think we need regulation as an industry. We've seen heavy regulation in housing, in health, in finance, banking, et cetera, and it just seems to cause a lot of problems, because what we see happening is we get all these bills and these laws pushed through, especially in the United States, and they're very predatory. They're big bills, they're like 800 pages, they're not in plain English, so we're getting a lot of poor laws and regulation. I do know that we do have to compromise, and we are going to have to come up with something, but at the same time, I do think that as a community we should work together, we should continue to self-police, and we should continue to push regulation forward that we are going to want, that's actually going to benefit for us, instead of just calling everything a scam or saying everything is, you lose money, et cetera. Because what ends up happening is when people sit and complain and they're not doing anything positive to change this, we're going to end up getting regulation that we do not want. So if you guys are interested, I am a board member on the DCTA, Digital Currency Traders Alliance. I don't make any money off of it. It's basically an organization in the United States, and we're trying to push through positive regulation for crypto. We want to work on the accredited investor stuff. We want to get clear guidelines. We really want to push the SEC to say, hey, give us black and white laws so we know what's going on, instead of just not knowing what's happening and then people getting in trouble after, because all that does is stifle innovation.
And she is great representation of all of that, so be sure to follow her and learn, because that's what she does. She teaches the community. Last question, what did you learn this year, and what should people expect from your content and your information in 2023?
So as far as my content goes, I don't sugarcoat anything, any way, shape, or form.
She doesn't.
I really do force my audience. Like, I give my opinion. I'll try to give a positive and a negative, and I really tell my audience to hear what I say, but to listen to yourself. And that basically means get information from me, get it from this side, get it from that side, get it from this person, get information from your enemies, people you don't necessarily care for, and come up with something that makes sense for you. But you have to continue to search for information and education. You can't just get your sources from one place. That's not going to do anybody any good. As always, make sure you guys are taking profits and have a trading or investing plan.
You heard it. It's Wendyo, and she's here at Dcentral Miami. We're so glad to have her. It was so nice to meet you. Thank you for what you do for the community.
Thank you for having me. Love and light, everybody.